Hello and welcome everyone. Thanks for joining us tonight. I'm Adam Cellini. Topping our news, protesters nationwide are speaking out against the president-elect Donald Trump, and today those protests taking place right here in downtown Sarasota. ABC 7's Kate Flexter was there and joins us now with the story. Kate.
Thanks, Adam. Just hours ago, Five Points Park was filled with hundreds of anti-Trump protesters who refused to accept the outcome of the election.
Get up! Get down! We don't want Trump in this town!
The signs read, "Love Trump's hate" and "Not my president," as hundreds flooded the streets of downtown Sarasota.
We reject the president-elect!
Passionate about topics like immigration, the environment, and LGBT rights.
I think that the people of color are being completely ignored. I think gay people are being completely ignored, and it's not okay.
Across the nation, thousands have taken to the streets for similar protests in cities like Chicago, New York, and Miami, some turning violent. For protest organizer V. Matalau, seeing those movements in other cities was the inspiration.
I wanted to be in Chicago. I wanted to be in New York at Union Square. I wanted to be at all of those places. But I figured that I could make a bigger difference if I stayed where I was and made a difference in my own community.
By the end, the crowd grew to at least 200, blocking traffic in downtown Sarasota. Standing by was law enforcement. On Twitter, Trump initially called the protests unfair, but later changed his tone, saying, quote, "Love the fact that the small groups of protesters last night have passion for our great country." And that's exactly what the Florida chairman of Trump's campaign told us today.
The results were cast by millions of Americans, and he won. And why would people be protesting? But at the end of the day, what Donald Trump realizes is he needs to bring everybody together.
What he expects to see, though, is protesters changing their views when Trump takes office.
These protesters, I think, will eventually all see the light and come on over just like the voters.
But Matalau says that won't happen in a country he feels has forgotten him.
This is a fight to keep existing and to keep thriving in a nation where we're simply being pushed to the side and not being acknowledged.
The group says it already has more protests planned for the future. Adam?
All right, thank you, Kate. And the number of protesters are growing around the country. At a demonstration in Portland, police say they detained 4 people in connection with a shooting that left 1 person injured. That victim is expected to survive, and police believe the 4 men arrested are gang members. 17 people total have been arrested in Portland since the protests began. In California, thousands of demonstrators are gathering in Los Angeles for what will be the largest protest against the election of Donald Trump. So did James Comey cause Hillary Clinton to lose the presidential election to Donald Trump? Well, she believes it didn't help her cause. Today, Clinton said in a conference call that Comey's actions delivered a, quote, double whammy to her campaign. Clinton said the first letter that Comey sent to Congress in late October halted the momentum she had after the debates, and the second letter from Comey, which exonerated Clinton, just fired up Trump's supporters. Clinton did call on her supporters to keep moving forward and fighting for their causes despite Comey's letter. White House Chief of Staff is a critical job in any presidential administration, and experts believe President-elect Donald Trump has 2 top candidates for that job. Dana Bash reports.
On election night, the person Donald Trump praised more than anyone else was Republican National Committee Chair Reince Priebus.
I'll tell you, Reince is really a star, and he is the hardest working guy. And in a certain way, I did this. Reince, come up here. Where is Reince? Get over here, Reince. Boy, oh boy, oh boy. It's about time you did this, Reince.
Even surrendering his victory speech microphone to Priebus.
Amazing guy. Our partnership with the RNC was so important to the success and what we've done.
It is true that the RNC had more influence over Trump's campaign than any in recent history. Priebus started to build ground operations and voter files in key states 3 years ago, which Trump used and benefited from big time.
We spent the last 4 years building a nationwide ground game.
In the last few months of Trump's campaign, Priebus personally played an outsized role, from helping lead debate prep to traveling extensively to help keep Trump focused and disciplined.
Well, we're so honored to be working with Donald Trump.
Those pushing for Priebus say he's the ideal chief of staff for several reasons. He can organize the White House and be a good gatekeeper, crucial traits for that job. And they point to the relationships he has with Republicans who run Capitol Hill, especially House Speaker Paul Ryan, a longtime close friend from Wisconsin. Priebus even brokered their first meeting this spring.
Do you feel like a couples therapist?
No, you know what? You wouldn't say that if you're in the room.
But those very bonds Priebus has with GOP leaders give Trump pause. They didn't want Trump to be president. And though Priebus often acted as a go-between during the campaign, which ultimately helped Trump, sources close to the president-elect say he isn't 100% sure Priebus is loyal.
And when you're a star, they let you do it.
Especially since, as party chair, Priebus had to publicly criticize Trump more than once. When the Access Hollywood tape came out, he said, quote, "No woman should ever be described in these terms or talked about in this manner, ever." Another contender for Chief of Staff, Steve Bannon, was always a steadfast Trump loyalist. He came from Breitbart, a conservative publication that spends as much time attacking establishment Republicans as Democrats.
What we need to do is bitch slap the Republican Party and get those guys, heaving too. And if we have to, we'll take it over.
Bannon became Trump's chief executive officer during the third campaign shakeup, and sources say immediately had the candidate's ear. In fact, Bannon, too, began traveling with Trump extensively in the waning weeks of the campaign. Although he sometimes fed Trump's worst instincts, sources say he also had enough credibility with the candidate to convince him not to send damaging tweets or retaliate against critics in a way that will distract from his core message. For that reason, even if Bannon is not chief of staff, Trump sources say to expect in some capacity he will be around a Trump White House. Dana Bash, Washington.
And whether or not you're happy with the president-elect, you got to be happy with the weather we were enjoying on this Saturday. Let's head over to Wendy Ross for a first check on that local weather. Wendy?
Adam, it was the perfect day to be outdoors. It was so gorgeous out there. 69 degrees for us right now. It's still very comfortable outside. Dew point is low. The humidity at 61%. Winds are calm right now. We have a starry night for us in TAP. And we are looking at just a couple of clouds that are located across the northern part of the state with some showers right around the Jacksonville area, just offshore, actually getting ready to make its way onshore. But we only have just a few high passing clouds, no rain in the forecast for us. So we are looking at a beautiful, beautiful night tonight. And you can see right now we're looking at mostly fair skies at this hour. We'll let you know what we can expect for the rest of this weekend. That's coming up in a few minutes. Adam.
Well, Florida manatees are on the move looking for warmer waters. State officials are warning boaters, though, that the mammals can pose a hazard. Seasonal protection zones for manatees are going into effect on Tuesday. There have been 91 reported manatee deaths from boat strikes this year, so officials want boaters to slow down and keep an eye out for the animals. Aerial counts by Florida Fish and Wildlife show the number of manatees are up around the state. A fire at a Walmart in Lakewood Ranch shut down the retail store for several hours today. The store manager says the small fire started early this afternoon. The blaze sparked in one of the aisles and was quickly extinguished. All shoppers were evacuated and others weren't allowed to enter the building. No injuries were reported. The store is normally open 24 hours and is expected to reopen to guests this evening. In South Florida, officials are trying to stop the outbreak of Zika in Miami by infecting mosquitoes with a bacteria so the insects can stop transmitting the virus. The bacteria-carrying mosquitoes can infect other Zika-carrying mosquitoes and hinder their ability to transmit the virus to humans. The U.S. Environmental Protection Agency has approved the limited use of the infected mosquitoes, and it has been effective in other countries. Florida's Surgeon General has been notified of the county's plans, but it has not yet been approved. Historians in Sarasota are traveling back in time. The Sarasota County History Center hosting a reenactment of the life of Bertha Palmer. Palmer was actually a snowbird. She spent winters in Sarasota in the early 1900s. She lived as a Chicago socialite and businesswoman, but eventually came to the Suncoast full-time to spend her final years. She was actively involved with the Women's Club of Sarasota and contributed to community charities. Her family was also involved in the community, including her father, Honor.
Honor I didn't know about her sons and how they were involved. I did know about Honor, the road named Honor and that, but there was a lot of tidbits that she informed me of that I was not aware of.
And Honor, or Honore Avenue, whichever you call it, is named after her father, Henry Honor, and Potter Park is named after her husband, Potter Palmer. Well, all month long, ABC7 is jumping forward 20 years towards the future of the Suncoast, and today we're looking back to look ahead. Philippi Estate Park is celebrating 100 years this weekend. In 1986, Sarasota County bought the property for more than $5 million to preserve it for years to come. Looking ahead to the year 2037, the number of historical sites on the Suncoast will expand.
We hope that the historical societies, the Sarasota Alliance, and all the other groups that have banded together to preserve the history will get their day in the sun, and we will preserve more.
Philippi Estate Park will continue its free anniversary celebration tomorrow from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. Still to come here on ABC7, rockers raising money for local schools. Musicians are competing all night in the Rock for a Cause concert in downtown Sarasota.
On the next Black Almanac.
Fear ripples through a broad swatch of demographic as many anticipate how President Trump will act on his explosive comments. Many in the civil rights community are worried that Trump's policies will reflect the xenophobic and racism woven through his campaign. The question is, how will he govern? Will he govern in that spirit?
Sunday morning at 7:30 on ABC7.
You're going to need me. You're going to need us. All of us. You're going to need our help with your water, your air, your food. You're going to need our determination, our compassion. You're going to need the next generation of leaders to face the challenges the future will bring. And we promise we'll be there when you need us.
We're losing exotic animals on a daily basis, and the ones that we have in captivity are really the ambassadors for their wild counterparts. I'm Clayton Rozier from the Big Cat Habitat and Gulf Coast Sanctuary, housing over 150 exotic animals that needed a great home. And if you love animals, please help them. Do it locally. Support your local no-kill shelters, your local wild animal sanctuaries. Make a difference where you can.
Have you ever wondered what it's like to save a life? Find out by donating platelets at Suncoast Blood Bank.
I'm Haley Wilgus, ABC7. Platelets aid in the clotting process and are vital in the treatment of cancer and surgical patients, trauma victims, and critically ill newborns. It's tough to keep enough on the shelves because they only last 5 days. To donate, call this number or visit scbb.org and you can help save a life.
ABC7 congratulates Suncoast Blood Bank on 65 years of serving our community. At ABC7, it's all about being here for you. ABC7 News at 7 with award-winning investigative journalist Alan Cohn. In-depth reporting and debate on important issues and stories in our community with a featured topic of the day and a live roundtable discussion with community leaders and newsmakers. Plus a quick recap of the day's top stories and weather. ABC7 News at 7 weeknights. Now more than ever, we're here for you, Suncoast.
Gold fever has once again swept the nation. And everyone is rushing to Florida to strike it doubly rich. Introducing the $5 million Gold Rush Doubler. We're doubling cash prizes for over $752 million in payouts. And 36 prizes from $1 million to $5 million. The Florida Gold Rush is on. The Florida Lottery, just imagine.
Sports time. Music lovers in Sarasota are rocking and rolling to benefit local music education programs. This is the third year for the event in downtown Sarasota. Local bands submit songs to event coordinators, and the top 6 compete in front of a live audience on Main Street. The best band wins a cash prize, but also donates money along with the event proceeds to local schools.
I'm a huge believer in music education. As a music educator myself, coming up through public education, the school system, it's really underfunded. It needs a lot of help, and it's something I feel really passionately about.
Rock for a Cause is still taking place at the corner of Orange and Main Street. The winner will be announced around 9 o'clock this evening by ABC7's Ray Collins, who is emceeing the event. And if you're inside, get outside. Right, Wendy?
Oh my gosh, yes, go. It's just beautiful outside. It's going to be a starry night tonight. That's already taking place. And we are looking at temperatures that got to the 80s today. 82 degrees was our daytime high, a little bit warmer than it normally is. Overnight lows, though, a little cooler than they normally are. And we're going to see something right around that once again for tomorrow. So we've got a temperature reading right now of 69 degrees. Our winds are calm. Temperatures around the state in the 60s and 70s. And as you can see across our region, most of us reporting pretty much the same thing. Temperatures are in the 60s and 70s. We have a cold front that's going to be moving very slowly down through our area. It gets stuck a little bit, but over the next couple of days, we'll see it come on through, and we are going to see the best chance for rain on Tuesday and Wednesday, Monday and Tuesday of this coming week. But tomorrow it's going to be gorgeous, Adam, once again.
All right, we'll be right back. Stick around.
On your TV, on your computer, on your camera, on your smartphone, on your Apple Watch. And now you can get ABC7, your Suncoast News on Fire TV. Just go to mysuncoast.com and click on the mobile tab for a list of fast and free downloads that deliver ABC7, your Suncoast News on the go.
Every child follows a path in life. For many, that path will lead them to a door that gives them a place to grow, to learn, to belong, a place to forge their future. Because while many doors open, these doors transform. They did for us. Support your local Boys and Girls Clubs. Great futures start here.
The Mayor's Feed the Hungry program is designed to help area families who are struggling with hunger. Please help this holiday season and donate by visiting mayorsfeedthehungry.org. Thank you, and holiday blessings to you and yours.
The official Suncoast Storm team at ABC7. We're here for you.
Attention breast cancer survivors. If you experience permanent hair loss or baldness after chemotherapy, you may qualify for a cash award. Thousands of women suffering breast cancer were given a chemotherapy drug without being warned about the possibility of irreversible alopecia. If you or a loved one suffered permanent hair loss after chemotherapy, call 888-622-8732. Time to file a claim is limited. 888-622-8732. That's 888-622-8732. Using baby powder or talc may lead to ovarian cancer. $72 million was awarded in a recent talc lawsuit after lawyers found secret internal documents showing that the baby powder manufacturer knew about the link between talcum powder and ovarian cancer for decades, but never told the public. If you were diagnosed with ovarian cancer after using talcum powder on a regular basis, you may qualify for a cash award. Call 800-793-6621. 800-793-6621.
Gold fever has once again swept the nation. And everyone is rushing to Florida to strike it doubly rich. Introducing the $5 million Gold Rush Doubler. We're doubling cash prizes for over $752 million in payouts. And 36 prizes from $1 million to $5 million. The Florida Gold Rush is on. The Florida Lottery, just imagine.
Well, it's November here on the Suncoast, but Wendy, as you were saying, still good weather for a beach trip down here.
Oh my gosh, and they've got what is the big event?
The Siesta Key Crystal Classic, the sand sculpting.
Perfect. It's going to be gorgeous. If you go, you still need sunblock. You still do. Temperatures are expected to get into the 80s once again. It's going to be absolutely gorgeous tomorrow.
And plus, you can just look at those sand sculptures. They are amazing. They push it every year. They get even more incredible.
Yeah.
I was there yesterday. They're doing a great job already.
But, I'm going tomorrow.
Perfect. Good for you. Yes. We'll see you guys after football tonight. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks to my volunteer, I am a better reader.
Thanks to my volunteer, math seems simple now.
Thanks to my volunteer, I discovered new career goals.
I'm a volunteer for Sarasota County Schools, so I know I can make a difference. And you can too. Give an hour, change a life.
Monday at 5 on ABC7's Good Morning Suncoast.
Hello, I'm Don Brennan. There's plenty of sunshine in Florida, obviously, but could it help with women diagnosed with breast cancer? Monday on Good Morning Suncoast, we'll show you how vitamin D impacts a woman's prognosis. John?
We'll watch a cold front finally bring us another chance of rain showers. We'll talk all about that bright and early Monday morning.
Monday at 5 on ABC7's Good Morning Suncoast. We're here for you.